A very good morning to all my dear students. Today we are going to start with our new lesson, that is the Little Women. In this story we will be going to talk about how the children they have the bonding with their parents, and we know that we have a wonderful bonding with our parents. So in this story also we will be going to talk about the family bonding. Okay, so uh, before going with the lesson, let me show you one of the PDF which I prepared for you. So now the PDF is something related to the outcome. Once you will read this lesson, what will be the outcome of the story? The outcome will make you to understand that how it is important to develop the family bonding in a family. Then the main concept of this story is the family bonding itself. Here we will be going to come across with some of the difficult words as well. So the difficult words which are there in the book are clown, then secondly shrieking, thirdly frantically, then melodramatic, groan, and despairing. So the meaning of the word I have already given here. The word means cologne means perfume, a kind of scented water. Then shrieking, it is a high pitch of crying like the children do. Frantically, this is something desperate with excitement or fear. Then melodramatic means it is a kind of a play in which the people's emotions are being portrayed, and these emotions are related to the real life incident. That is called the melodrama, a kind of play. Okay, then groan is a sad sound in the pain, a deep sad sound when we are in pain. Despairing means to discourage or being hopeless. So this is something which I have done for you. Let's come back to the topic, and the topic is the Little Women. In this particular lesson we will be going to, as I told you, we will be going to read some of the difficult words like lecturing, exclaimed, frantically, melodramatic, clown, shrieking, despairing, and groan. I have already given you the meaning, and behind me you can see the board as well. So I have written everything on the board, and then I click the picture for you. Now when I am going to begin this lesson, you will be having a question in your mind, and the questions can be that whether you have that bonding with your family or not. So before going with the family, let us begin with that. What kind of family do you have? Is your family big or your family is small? So you have to tell. So nowadays most of us are living in a nuclear family. Very few families are there who are still having the joint family. So whether it is a nuclear family, whether it is a joint family, the warmth of love is always there. We love each other, and that is why how the bonding becomes strong. If you are living in a nuclear family, you may be having a wonderful bonding with your parents, and if your mother get hurt, or if you suffer from any of the problem, your mother is always there to help you. In the same manner, when you find that your mother is somewhere in despair and she is not happy, you also become unhappy. So this is what the bonding is all about. Then second question is, if you were to give somebody or something in your family member, what would you give and why? Now it is a question that supposing you are going to celebrate the birthday, as this lesson is all about. So supposing it is a birthday of your mother, what kind of gift you want to give to your mother, and why do you want to give that particular gift to your mom? That is a biggest question. So it depends upon person to person. Somebody will give, like these girls, they were deciding, I will give this, you please give this, and so on. Like in whenever we celebrate our birthday, like your birthday, your parents, they give a surprise gift to you, and then the time on the birthday, when you open that particular gift box, you become very much shocked and surprised, and you had a feeling that this was the thing which I was thinking about, and how mommy comes to know that I need this. So this is what a bonding is all about, that you think and your mother and your father understand that my child need this. Okay, so this is a mutual understanding between the family member. So now let us read an excerpt from the famous novel The Little Woman, Little Woman, about four sisters and their plans to buy the gift for their mother. So this is, let us read the story. So let me begin. This is the story of four sisters, and the name of the sisters were Meg, Jo, Beth, and Emmy. And this the whole setting of the story is in America. Now their father is away fighting the war, and they lived with their mother. Christmas is around the corner, and they are planning to buy a gift for their mother and practicing for a play on Christmas Eve. So now this is a family background, that this particular family consists of four daughters, and the name of the daughter is Meg, Jo, Beth, and Emmy, and the setting of this play is in America. Now talking about their father, that their father was a soldier, and he was away from the home, as he went to the front in order to have a war with the enemy, and that is why these girls were living with their mummy. And here a Christmas was approaching, and finally, as father was not there at home, the children had a thought in their mind that mama must be missing father, and all of them are missing father. So how to make this Christmas memorable and make mummy to feel happy, so that she should analyze that, okay, in the absence of her husband, still the family is celebrating the Christmas with the same pomp and love. So they planned, and what they planned, to buy the gift for their mother, and then they planned for a play, that okay, on Christmas we will be going to do a drama or a play on the Christmas Eve. Now let's begin. The clock struck 6, and Beth put a pair of slippers down to warm. Mother was coming, and everyone brightened to welcome her. Meg stopped lecturing and lighted the lamp. Emmy got out of the easy chair without being asked. Jo forgot how tired he was as she sat up to hold the sleeper nearer to the blaze. So now the story begins, and it is about 6 o'clock in the evening. At that very time, Beth, she put the pair of slipper down to warm, and mother was coming, and everyone, the time when they heard that mama was coming to the room, everyone was brightened to welcome her. And Meg, she was instructing something to her sister, but she stopped at once lecturing to them, and then she lighted the lamp. Then the second daughter, Emmy, she got out of the easy chair without being asked. She was not asked to get up, but she herself she stood up from the chair. And the third girl, Jo, she forgot about the tiredness which she was having, and she sat up to hold the slipper nearer to the blaze. And here the blaze is a large fire. So in America, in a room during the winter season, as it becomes very cold, so finally they lit the fire. So that is what the blaze is all about. They are quite worn out. Mother must have a new pair, said Jo. And the time when they were as they analyzed that mama might be coming, so they were at that very moment they were talking about what sort of gift to be given to mama. So Jo said that I think mama must be in need of a new pair of the slipper. Then the other one said, I thought I would give her some with my dollar. And then she said, okay, mama needs something new pair. So she said that, okay, whatever the money I have saved, I will be going to give the dollar to mama. No, I shall, cried Emmy. And the third daughter said, no, you please don't give, I will give this to mama. So this is what the bonding is all about. I am the oldest, and Meg said that I am the elder among you all. But Jo cut in with I am the man of the family now that papa is away, and I shall provide the slipper, for he told me to take special care of mother while he was gone. And the time when Emmy said that no, I am the eldest one in the family, so nobody will contribute anything. It will be me who will be going to purchase the slipper for mama. In the meantime, the boy, he interrupted and he said that no, 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 nobody will do anything, because I am the only man in this very family, and when father was about to go for the war, he has given the responsibility to me, and he told me that you are the only boy in the family, only male in the family, and you have to take special care of mother. Then I will tell you what we will do, said Beth. Let's each get her something for Christmas and not get anything for ourselves. And then finally, because there was a argument, there was a confusion that what should I give. Everybody was ready to give something to mama. So finally they come to the conclusion that okay, let's not fight, let's do one thing. Instead of purchasing something for ourselves, let us purchase different items for mother. So this is how they come to the conclusion. Then let us go and purchase different things for mummy instead of purchasing anything for ourselves. That's like you, like you, dear. What will we get? Then she's one of the member said that okay, that is very kind of you, and this is a wonderful idea. So what shall we give? What we should do now? What to purchase the thing for mama then? Then everyone thought for a minute, and then Meg announced, I shall give her a nice pair of gloves. And then when they were sitting for a moment thinking about what the gift can be given to mama, one of the daughter, the name of the daughter was Meg, she announced that okay, I think that mama is working in this cold winter days, so I should provide one nice pair of gloves to mama. Then Emmy, shoes best to be had, cried Joe. And then Joe said that Emmy is saying that she is going to purchase a nice pair of shoes for mama. So he said, no, I want to do that. And then Beth said, okay, then if Emmy is going to produce the, Joy is going to purchase the shoes for mama, then I will purchase a few pair of handkerchiefs. Then the next one, I will get a little bottle of cologne. She likes it and it would cost much, so I will have some left to buy my pencil, added Emmy. And then Emmy said, okay, that one of the daughter said that she is going to give a pair of shoes. The another one said that I will be going to give a pair of gloves. Then the third one said that I will be going to give the handkerchief. Then the fourth one, she said that okay, I will purchase the perfume for mummy, as I know that mama loves perfume, and I have some amount of money. I was thinking to purchase some pencils for me, but okay, I will not go for the pencil, rather I will use this amount of money in order to purchase the perfume for mama. Then how will we give these things, asked Meg. So once all the four of them decided that what they are going to give, now the question was how to give this gift to mama. Put them on the table and bring her in and see her open the bundle. Don't you remember how we used to do so on our birthday? Answered Joe. And then finally, when Meg put the question how to give the things, finally Joe gave one wonderful idea that remember what mama used to do. Mama used to keep all the things on the table, and then we can also do the same. We'll put everything on the table and then we will let mama inside, and then we will ask mama to open one by one the bundles, and then finally this is how once mama will see varieties of gift for her, she will be very happy. I used to be so frightened when it was my turn to sit in the chair and see you all come marching round to give the present with a kiss. I like the things and the kisses, but it was dreadful to have you sit looking at me while I opened the bundle, said Beth, who was toasting her face and the bread for the tea at the same time. Now as they decided that okay, we'll put everything on the table and we will ask mama to come, and then mama will slowly she will be going to open the bundle. And then the daughter, whose name was Beth, she was making the toast and making the tea for the family member. So she said that I remembered that day, as you talked about that on our birthday how mama do. So I remembered that I always become frightened when I was being asked to sit on a particular chair sorry, and one by one you people come, you march towards me and you come around me, and then you give a present to me, and then finally you give a lovely kiss to me. So I like the things and the kisses which you are giving to me, but it was really dreadful. It is really very scary that what kind of gift you are going to give to me. And then I slowly open all the bundles, and this is all the sentences spoken by Beth when she was making the toast and tea. Then coming to the next one, let mother think we are getting things for ourselves, and then we will surprise her. We must go shopping tomorrow afternoon, Meg. There is so much to do about the play for Christmas night, said Joe. And then finally everything was decided, and they said that okay, then tomorrow we will go to the shop in order to do the shopping, and we will not purchase anything for ourselves. Rather, we will be going to purchase the material only for mama, without letting her know that we are going to do, or we are going to make this Christmas a very special Christmas for her in the absence of father. So there is then Joe said in between that okay, we now we have decided all about the gift. Now let us decide about the Christmas Eve, that what kind of play we are going to present for mama in order to make her happy. I don't mean to act any more after this time. I am getting too old for such thing, observed Meg. And then Meg at once said that you see my age now, I am becoming old and I don't like to act anymore. No, so I will not become the part of the play. You won't stop. I know, as long as you can trail around in a white gown with your hairs down and wear gold pepper jewelry. You are the best actress. You are the best actress we have got, and there will be an end of everything if you quit. And the time when Meg said that no, I am becoming older, I will not able to participate in all those things, so please don't let me ask to participate in your play. But at once Joe said that no, you cannot boycott yourself for this, because the time if you will say that you will not participate, then everybody is going to quit the play and nobody will going to participate. And then he motivated him by saying that you look very pretty when you are wearing the white gown with the beautiful ornaments and your long hairs falling down, so you look very best and you are the one of the best actors in our family. So please don't quit, otherwise others will also quit. So we out to rehearse tonight. Come here, Emmy, and do the fainting scene. And in the meantime, Joe also added that okay, now let's start without wasting a single minute. Let's start practicing. Let us start do the rehearsal. And then he asked Emmy that Emmy, please come. And what is the acting you have to do? You have to do the acting of fainting. So you have to faint. For you are as stiff as a poker in that. And why he ask her to do the acting of fainting? Because she is very stiff, her body is very stiff, like you can see one of the picture here, the metal stick I have written here. Okay, so it is just a poker. He said that your body is just like straight and stiff, and you are the only perfect person in the family who can do the acting of the fainting person. I can't help it. I never saw anyone faint, and I don't choose to make myself all black and blue. And then she said that no, please don't ask me to faint anymore, because I am not very good in doing all this type of acting. And then once I will fall down, then everywhere there will be the injury in my body, and then it will become black and blue all over my body, tumbling flat as you do. And she said that the way you are asking me, please, I can't help it. I never saw anyone doing that, and I don't want to do the acting. I don't want to get injured. I will drop. If I can't, I shall fall into a chair and be graceful. And then he said, okay, if you allow me that instead of falling on the ground, I will make myself fall on the chair. And the time when I will be doing it, it will not look awkward, I will not get injury, and it will look very graceful as well. Returned Amy, who was chosen because she was small enough to be borne out shrieking by the villain of the piece. And then talking about that, the time Amy was being asked, Amy said that you was chosen because she was small enough to do. And then she said that let ask Amy to do that because she is the youngest one, and if she will do, she can easily able to produce that shrieking sound, that harsh loud sound, like as if by the as if she really got injured, and the voice of shrieking will be there by the villain of the piece, and she will become the villain of the piece. Here means about the act which they are going to perform on the Christmas Eve. Then do it this way. Then he said, okay, how to do it now? So a suggestion was there. And what was the suggestion? The suggestion was claps your hand so, and stagger around the room, crying frantically, save me, and away went Joe with a melodramatic scream that was truly thrilling. And then how they decided that, okay, do it in this way. What you will do, you first fasten your hand, and then with a surprise, you just went across the room, and in the meantime you produce an anxious sound of fear. And at that very time when you are producing this sound of fear, you have to say it loudly, save me, and went away. And away went Joe with and in the meantime what Joe will do, Joe will run away in a very melodramatic manner, in which here as I gave you the meaning, melodramatic means a kind of a play in which the things are being portrayed in a dramatical manner, but the sequence is related to the real life thing, so making things more exciting and serious. So this is how they decided that, okay, she will fasten her hand, and then she will rush to the room, and the time when she will reach the room, she will be surprised, and then she will cry loudly in fear by shouting and saying that save me. And then Joe's entry will be there, and Joe will also add some of his acting, in which it will be going to make the play more serious and more exciting. Then Amy followed, but she poked her hand out stiffing beforehand and jerked herself along as if she went by machinery. Joe gave a despairing groan. Meg laughed outright, and Beth let her bread burn as she watched the fun with interest. And now what happened? When they decided, then Amy, whatever was being directed to her, she started following it. And but the time when she was doing it, she poked her hand out stiffly before her and jerked herself along it as if she went by machine. And as her body was very stiff, so she was being directed, and she started acting according to the direction given to her, and this is how she started acting like a machinery. In the same manner, Joe gave a despairing groan, and in the meantime Joe also started crying loudly and producing the shrieking sound there. And then when Meg looked all this thing, she started laughing. And Beth, during that time when they were doing the rehearsal, Beth, who was making the toast and the tea, the toast was totally burned, as she was watching the rehearsal with lot of fun and interest. So lovely story, children. We have read about it. So in the next class, I will be going to give you the summary. Okay, I hope you must have understood it.